Tom Dumoulin.
Dumoulin is back out of retirement. That dude, man, he had such a big engine. And he's targeting the Giro. Can he make a big splash at the Giro? And will he have any GI issues?
Welcome, everyone, to another episode of Coaches on Couches.
Being Slouches.
2022 edition.
Man.
Now with even more couches.
More couches. What say you, Dale?
More couches.
More couches.
We'll go into that a little bit more in just a second. But we have a special announcement on how you, yes you, could win 2 tickets and mobile lodging to the 2022 Walmart UCI Cyclocross World Championships in Fayetteville, Arkansas. That'd be January 28th through the 30th. It's a 3-day pass.
Whew. We're actually be talking a lot more about that event, too.
Yeah.
In this podcast.
Yep. And we'll give all the details on how you can win that toward the end of the show here. So watch out for that. But first, I'm Coach Dale Sanford.
And I am Coach Bryant Funston. We're the co-founders of BPC Performance Coaching, where we specialize in helping time-crunched athletes optimize their busy schedules so they can maximize their athletic performance. Every BPC coach is trained in our 5 pillars coaching system that has been developed over the last almost 13 years. New year now.
Yeah.
Through our work with athletes of all ages and ability levels, from fresh off the couch to world championship competitors. You can find out more about BPC by going to buildpeakcompete.com, checking Facebook and YouTube at buildpeakcompete, and all up on the Instagram at BPC Performance. That's all I got.
Boom.
We'll see you next time.
Like, subscribe, hit the bell.
Hit the bell. Oh, and also the podcast. You know, this is a podcast, obviously.
It is.
You can find us on all the major podcasting stations.
All right, so it's 2022.
Yes, sir.
New year, new you, all that good stuff. So they're like, we're starting over. We're excited about a lot of things for this year. So we thought that we would just kind of come on and discuss a lot of the things that we're kind of got. The stoke level's high.
Stoke is high.
Stoke level's high for 2022.
That was actually my New Year's resolution, is to talk more hip this year. So things like stoke, full send.
Well, then we are off to a great start. Yeah, so with the podcast, we're wanting to be more consistent.
Yeah. Let's be honest, we've been in a time warp for 2 years now.
Yeah.
I think everyone listening to this is in the same boat, right? Like, it's been 2 years where it was almost like Groundhog Day. You're not sure, are more events going to come back? Are they going to be canceled? Like, everyone's sort of afraid to plan anything, especially long term, for fear of what's going to happen with COVID and the virus and everything like that. So we feel like there's definitely light at the end of the tunnel.
Yep.
There's a lot of stuff we're excited about. So new year, new focus.
Yeah, we're going to be doing more consistent podcasting. We're going to have more interviews, more guests on. So you'll get to see more couches. We may be getting a new couch this year at some point. We'll see. Big talk.
If anyone can see this couch on the video, I told Dale the only way this is leaving this house with my help is with a chainsaw.
It's rather large. It's in charge. Large and in charge.
Comfy couch.
Let's go just start talking. Let's go through all the things that we're excited about. I mean, 2022 is coming at you. First thing, I mean, the House of Pain class.
Super jazzed about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, all you hoppers that are listening.
Yeah. Kudos.
Best year yet. Yeah.
Yeah, we're stoked. We got over 100 riders that are doing the program this year. That was a major kind of milestone goal for us, was to hit 100. It's pretty awesome to get on every Tuesday and Thursday and see 50, 70 people on Zoom
at
one time.
Yeah. I'm super excited about that program in general because it brings in such a wide range of people. It's not like an outdoor group ride where you'll end up, you'll have like your A group folks that are with each other and your C folks and your D folks, your different pace levels. With this, it's people of varying ability levels, varying experience levels, all coming together at the same time and being motivated by each other. Yeah. And it's also nice, like, when you do have the folks that are more beginners, not only do they learn so much more, but it also kind of takes you back to that, where you were at when you were first starting. There's a lot of stuff we end up kind of taking for granted, but seeing things fresh through the eyes of folks who are newer to this whole thing is always an exciting experience. So looking forward to seeing what that group does throughout the year, and jazzed every Tuesday, Thursday night when we hop on and knock out a killer session. Yeah,
it's a lot of fun. The addition of Coach Johnny Brown is a big one we're excited about. We've known Johnny forever. We've known him since he was, 13?
Yeah,
something like that.
If you're not sure who Johnny Brown is, youngest ever U.S. Pro Road Race National Champ in 2018? Yeah. Two-time U18 National Champion. He's back racing pro domestically here in the U.S., and we've got him on board. Great addition to our coaching. Yeah, coaching
just
group.
He's obviously on a very high level and has trained that way for years and years and years. So he brings a heck of a lot of experience to the table.
Yep, sure. And we're going to be interviewing him on the next podcast. So if you want to... or be sure you check that one out. Find out more about him, what he's doing, what his goals are, both from a racing standpoint and also from a coaching standpoint.
Yeah, should be an interesting season too. With and we'll go into a little bit more, but him getting picked up by the Miami Blazers, which is kind of a new domestic team.
Sounds like a basketball team.
It does. Well, I think that's the direction that USA Criterium Racing is going, is to make it much more like a professional league.
Are you excited about that?
I'm excited about it.
2022?
I am excited about it.
Good.
Yeah. It's gonna be pretty cool to watch.
Yeah, for sure. We'll dive more into kind of some of the pro racing stuff that we're excited about, and that's one of the things for sure.
I mean, regionally, you cannot not be excited about having the Cyclocross World Championships come to the U.S. in general, let alone within 5 hours of home.
I've told numerous people when we went in 2015, it is the most fun I've had at a sporting event.
Ever.
Yeah.
To this day, nothing has compared to Cyclocross Worlds in Louisville.
No. And think about it, like if you go to a pro basketball game and you want to sit courtside to be close to these, athletes that you watch all the time, the highest level in the sport, it's going to cost you thousands of dollars for one ticket for, an hour and a half, 2 hours, 2.5 hours, whatever it may be. With Worlds, you pay very little, or you win the free tickets, which we're going to be talking about. And you're literally within touching distance numerous times.
If you happen to hold up $1 or a beer, they might take it out of your hand.
They just might. Those are the people that are not on the pointy end of the race. But no, it's so crazy to be so close. And I'm telling you, when we went to Louisville, you had all the Belgian fans that showed up. And hopefully, COVID's not going to prevent travel from Europe to the U.S. But it was so fun hanging out and watching the race with the true fanatics of the sport.
Remember our buddy from Oregon who wore the gorilla suit?
Yes. Yes. God, it was a great day.
I mean, you will not, if you're a cycling fan, you will not have more, you will not have more fun and be around a just melting pot of people who all enjoy cycling and want to have a good time.
Yep. And we've already started talking about our costumes we're wearing.
We're working on our costumes now. Yeah.
So you gotta be there to see
it. I can talk about it all day. Yeah. It's going to be such a good time, and Fayetteville is going all out. for it, and it's a great.
And that small little company, Walmart, is sponsoring.
Yeah,
So there might be some decent.
I don't know where they're scrounging out that money to do it, but
I don't either.
Everything needs a sponsor.
They do. Mm-hmm. All right, we could keep going on forever about pretty much each one of these, but for the point of not making this 4 hours long, our boy Scruggs has told us we're not allowed to have 4 hour long podcasts in 2022.
He's already hitting the wrap it up box over there.
Yeah, turn that light off. We're going to keep talking. Moving on. What else are we excited about, Dale?
Yeah, having the Ironman 70.3 Memphis come back again, with some better parking and some more food options at the end. Like I said, they're already working on that sort of thing. They are a bigger company, but they do listen to the feedback from the athletes, and they are actively asking for feedback from the athletes on how to make their events better. And Memphis has been no different from that. So, and I'm excited about the killer tailgate that has happened on the run course.
I mean, I might go in and say that was my second most fun I've had cheering an event.
I believe it. I mean, yeah. So having that race come back will be awesome.
Yeah, definitely. No, you're talking about one of the biggest organizations and something that people get so excited about. Ironman events, and the fact that that's here locally is huge for Memphis, huge for us. We had 23?
We had 23 from the squad. It was total. We had 43 athletes
43
last year.
athletes. Yeah, huge thing for us.
And we only had one that didn't finish, and it was a very unfortunate situation with a flat tire that couldn't be fixed. But I mean, I mean, like you said, it's a huge organization. It's a show when they come in and roll into town, and it's something to get really excited. Plus, it's really great for the city. I mean, I think last year they've already kind of done a bit of an economic impact study, and it was like $13 million on a first-year event during a pandemic. So who knows what, with crappy weather.
With crappy weather, yeah,
so
that's kind of the big
thing. Who knows
right?
what it could be on a normal scenario. So
for sure.
What else you got?
Sheeta C. Coach Heather is doing it. For those that aren't familiar with it, Dale and I this past year did a thing called Ride to Rosemary, raising money for West Cancer Foundation. It was my 6th year doing it, Coach Dale's 1st year, but essentially it's a ride from here to Rosemary Beach, Florida, 5-day event. And now there's going to be a ladies version of that. So that was a men's version. This is a ladies version. Coach Heather's doing it. Lee is doing it. Some of our athletes. Mickey Martin's doing it. So we've got a group of folks that we coach that are doing it, but it's just going to be a cool thing, raising awareness, raising money, and in support of a great cause. And it's not an easy event, right?
No, it's over 500 miles over 5 days.
Yeah.
And it's there. You are going toward the ocean, but there is the
wind usually comes from the ocean towards
very
you.
Terrain and decent wind.
Yeah.
And
it's smaller this year, so first tester kind of thing. I think what I'm most excited about is I know that's something that is going to go well this year, and it's going to grow. And there's a lot of really great ladies that are going to be involved in that in the years to come. And again, for a great cause. So
absolutely,
I like that one.
There is so much. Obviously, gravel has just exploded, and there are so many really awesome gravel events that are happening early season, mid-year. I mean, it's gravel's year-round now. I mean, there's pretty much almost no reason to not race gravel.
Yeah, if you like to race a bike, gravel's a very good option for you.
Yeah, so we've got a decent amount of people doing Mississippi Gravel Cup.
Yeah, this weekend.
You're headed
this
down
Saturday.
there.
Yeah, I'm going to head down. I got the late entry. Going to do it this weekend, but it's a 4-event thing. They're great. The race organizers there are Ordinary Epics is the group putting that on. They do a great job. It's an awesome kind of a more grassroots style event, which is super cool. So if you're wanting to test yourself, that's a great one. But I mean, gravel's getting big. It's not the thing I'm most excited about personally, but we've got a lot of athletes that's their primary focus. And just these past couple of years, I'm kind of excited to see, is there going to be a shift towards even more gravel? jump on the forums and the websites and you start seeing people wondering, is road dying out? Is gravel the new thing? Or is this the next great thing? Or, whatever.
Yeah.
But I mean, I've seen a growth in road events just in the past year, so,
Yeah.
and a ton of new people who came on during the pandemic. I was doing a group ride just a couple weeks ago, and over half the people on this 60-person ride were folks who started cycling within the time that this pandemic started. So a lot of new people on bikes, which is awesome.
Yeah, I mean, like earlier, I guess you got the Mid-South's pretty early.
Mid-South, big event. Yep.
That's a huge one. The other event over in Bentonville, the Rule of Three.
Yeah, tough race.
Is a beast of a day.
Tough race, yep.
And then Unbound, obviously.
One of probably the most famous, I would say.
Yeah.
That and Mid-South are kind of your two.
Yeah.
Old
SVT
school.
gravel.
Yeah, we've got multiple folks doing that one. This will be the first time I've coached anyone to that event, so I'm kind of excited to kind of go through that whole training regiment with the folks. Much more demanding than, say, or a different style of demand than like an Unbound. So it's always cool when you got a different event, different course with different demands. Just from a training side of things, I'm excited to kind of go through that process with them.
Yep.
But Steamboat Springs, I mean, not a bad place, to go race a bicycle.
Yep.
So yeah, definitely excited to see that whole thing. And Big Sugar.
Yeah, Big Sugar was a ton of fun this last year, and I'm sure that event will continue to grow. Mm-hmm. So yeah, gravel excites me. I mean, like, I do a lot of triathlon, but I have a ton of fun with gravel events because I don't feel like I have to race it.
That's yes. And I think that's important, and we can save this for another podcast, but it's very tough as a coach to coach someone who wants to have every event throughout the entire 12-month calendar be an A race that they want fitness for. Having something like gravel that is for fun, for training, if you focus on road, or having road events if you focus on gravel, or having this interdiscipline kind of thing where one you take much more serious and the other you use as fun to build fitness for, that is awesome.
Yeah.
Rouge Roubaix, speaking of gravel.
Yes.
So this is like the OG.
Original.
This is like the OG of gravel.
Yes.
So this is before gravel was gravel.
Yep.
St. Francisville, Louisiana.
Yep.
100 plus mile event. Now it's like a 200. What is it? They've got a 200K option and then like a 100-ish mile option. But it's before, when we were doing it on the house job. So we're doing
road tires.
Yeah, 23C tires.
Yeah.
I was riding Michelin Pro Race 2s last time I did it. No flats. Last year, Mississippi Gravel Cup, I was riding 32s flat. So my plan for Saturday at Oxford, 23 Pro Race 2s, bringing them out. But Rouge Roubaix, that's a great event that was canceled for a few years. But that we've got folks doing that. It's a fun one.
Yeah, it's nice to have it back. And to me, that's an exciting thing because it kind of marks the almost rebirth or regrowth of some of the road events that have kind of come and gone.
Yeah,
I hope to see some of those other ones come back.
Yeah. Well, and that one, like the backstory, this could get really long. You go ahead and show us the light. The reason that one went away, as you know,
politics, man,
was they stopped allowing rides of any group rides on the roads after a person got hit and killed. Instead of like going after drivers for dangerous driving and hitting cyclists, they made it much tougher on cyclists to be on the road. And so that race couldn't go on because you weren't allowed to ride the group on the road, which is ridiculous. So hopefully this means that there's actually progress being made from a cycling-friendly standpoint in the area. If not, keep your head on a swivel.
Yeah, so you've got, we talked about the road calendar kind of beefing up, and then you got Joe Martin. Joe Martin's a big race in May that's also over in that Fayetteville area.
Yeah, the more we kind of talk through this, the more it sounds like Northwest Arkansas is the place to be from a cycling standpoint, right?
It really is. I mean, it really is. They've put so much time and money into making that area so bike friendly and like inviting to cyclists. I mean, really have done a great job over there.
Yeah. One thing to mention, I just had an athlete send over his prospective calendar, and he's got 19 events between like this weekend and the end of June.
It's a lot.
Which just shows you that
there's more options.
Really wants to race, but also that, I mean, last year it was tough to find 19 events, really. So
especially early in the year.
For those of you who are listening to this and are like, I don't know what's going to happen. I mean, there's stuff out there, and the calendar, we're excited because the calendar is popping up with more and more events. It looks not only where it was before the pandemic, but it almost with the addition of gravel and some of these smaller events that have popped up during the pandemic. Now there's all sorts of events out there for folks, which is cool.
Yeah. What? So you're a little excited about going back to the Iron Horse.
I'm going back to the Iron Horse. Yep, that's where I first got into the sport. Cut my teeth.
Yeah.
Yep. I plan to train a little more than the first time I ever did it. But the Iron Horse Bicycle Classic, Durango, Colorado to Silverton. Super jazzed to go back. They've also got multiple events. Probably one of the only places in the nation where you can race a mountain bike race where they take the window out of a restaurant and you ride through the bar while people line the bar like the Tour de France, and then you ride off a second story. I don't know. I don't know if they've done it recently, but as of a couple years ago, they were still riding you through the bar.
And did they add a gravel event?
There's a gravel event. Yep. 2 different distances there. So I'm going to do the gravel and I'm going to do the road race. It's its 50th year for this road race.
That's incredible.
Yeah. Yeah. So that'll be Memorial Day weekend, and I'm excited about Masters Nationals. So a few folks that we're coaching, I know we're also super jazzed about that, but it's going back to Albuquerque.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah. So familiar with the course from last year. And yeah, it's, anytime you're doing a national championship, anything is exciting. Yeah.
Yeah.
How about you? What are you excited about, Dale?
They're bringing this 4-day multi-sport festival, they call it, to Irving. It's the Dallas area in Texas, and it's basically 4 days of racing. It's all short course stuff. There's an Olympic option, but everything else is either it's draft legal short course or duathlon draft legal or mixed relay racing, but it's all short course, like super sprint to sprint mostly. But I'm also excited about having some more draft legal options because it's so much fun.
Yeah,
to race on a road bike.
Are you heading to that one?
I'm tentatively planning on doing it. I have family in the Dallas area.
Oh, perfect.
So,
yep.
And have several athletes who are planning on going. So
cool.
Working on possibly putting together a mixed relay team.
Oh,
we'll see.
I like it.
And
nice.
then obviously Nationals is back in Milwaukee. That one I'm not 100% certain on simply because of the stuff at the end of the year. I'll 90% going to the 70.3 World Championships in St. George. So a lot, stage of life type of thing. Not sure I can do all the travel to all the events.
You're not like my athlete who has 19 events between now and...
No, I have to pick. I have to pick a little bit. Be a little choosy.
Yeah.
Use my brownie points when applicable, and then regenerate those points.
Exactly.
For the next one.
Yep.
Well, I'd love to go do all of the big races. Yeah. Probably not the best idea.
Probably not. No.
But you've also got Ironman World Championships in St. George this year and in Kona, hopefully. So early year, St. George, they're basically the one that got postponed from Kona. They're going to move to St. George, do it earlier in the year, and then they're going to hopefully move it back to Kona in October again. Yeah. Hopefully.
Fingers
Obviously,
crossed,
Hawaii is just very conservative when it comes to COVID and stuff like that. So it's been tough to to get that
Yeah.
event off the ground out there. But
Hey, we'll keep our fingers crossed there.
yeah. But like other than that, we have like athletes doing all kinds of stuff this year. I mean, we've got people training for 100-mile ultras, first-time Ironmans, several people going after Boston qualifiers.
EQs, baby.
I mean, I get excited about people having big, lofty goals.
Yep.
So we've got a lot of that going on.
Yeah, we got some folks doing the Senior Olympics cycling events this year. So we got a couple folks doing that. It's the range of folks, right? From 100-mile running events to 5K time trials at the Senior Olympics. So, and then everything in between. And we actually took some inventory on the socials. Yeah,
we asked you guys about what you were excited about. And
what are you excited about?
Just a few of the ones real quick. Joe Martin.
JMSR.
Yeah.
Joe Martin stage race.
Memphis in May Tri actually happening in May.
Not the Memphis in May and August.
No, not in the sauna. Kona, obviously people are excited about that race. I'm excited to see what happens in the two different courses.
Mm-hmm.
Both very difficult courses, but different times of the year, obviously.
Yep.
Masters Road Nationals, already mentioned that.
Yep.
The Mid-South, a lot of gravel. The Gravel Locos, and then Rooted Vermont, which is another pretty difficult gravel event.
Are there any routes?
It's big.
Are there any routes to traverse?
Ted King's home front there.
Gotcha.
So I mean, there's just there's a lot going on, coming back, a lot going on. So we're excited about all of that stuff.
Oh, for sure. And then there's pro racing. Yeah, that's just the local stuff, right?
That's just local. That's just our athletes, getting out and throwing down and setting big goals and going after them. Not even just to mention what's happening in the pro world.
Yeah. So we'll be quick on this pro cycling stuff. But I'm going to start with the pro cycling.
Famous last words.
Some of my questions. Things I'm excited about, and some of these questions are from unanswered stuff from last year, but all the classics. I just love classics racing. If you're not familiar with classics, that's the one-day stuff, much longer, usually a lot worse conditions, road surfaces. Always excited to see those. My favorite being Strada Bianchi. Love that race. The 3 Grand Tours. So you've got a ton of these like top level folks, and some of them are starting to instead of everyone just going after the Tour de France, which has happened in the past, now you've got folks that are, trying to go through all 3 here. So there's going to be competition in each one.
I'm excited to see them kind of back in their normal, hopefully in their normal time of year, versus the compact season.
Exactly.
That kind of threw a wrench into a lot of, of people's training. I mean, it's how hard is it to train for 3 Grand Tours, in a
2-month span? Yeah,
and that's why a lot of people didn't make more than 2 of them.
Yeah, plus you had the Olympics, plus you had there's so much that was happening. So, like I said, we're going to be quick. Can Tadej Pogačar be defeated? He's won 2 in a row. Looked unbeatable. I think the big question is, can Primož Roglič actually stay on his bicycle? If he can, I think he can make a big run at Tadej. If he cannot, I think Tadej's shown he's the elite climber and he can time trial. So, Tom Dumoulin is back out of retirement. That dude, man, he had such a big engine. And he's targeting the Giro. Can he make a big splash at the Giro? And will he have any GI issues?
A big splash.
Go ahead and
in his bibs.
Go ahead and Google Tom Dumoulin and pooping at the Giro. Can Cavendish pass Eddie Merckx as the all-time winningest Tour de France stage winner? I don't know. We'll find out. Van der Poel. Monsieur?
Yeah. He just hasn't been the same after the Olympics. And we went on the other day about like, why did he even decide to race the mountain bike race in the Olympics?
Yeah, this was a conversation Dale and I were having at lunch. We're like, he's essentially been hurt since the Olympics.
Yeah.
And he's in that stage. You're a pro athlete and you're getting paid to ride your bicycle. You're the top cyclist in the world. If you start looking at every discipline, he's the top dude. Like, he was winning mountain bike events, World Cup races. He was winning cyclocross. He's won 2 in a row. I think he's won 4. Could be wrong there. 3 or 4 World Championships. Yep. I mean, he's top cyclist. Decides to go and do the mountain bike after not mountain biking much. Does the mountain bike event. Does a front flip. Lands on his back. And now it's like a rush to get back racing, right? And each time he rushes it, his back's flaring up, and rumor has it he's going to be sitting out the rest of the early season in hopes of being back by the Spring Classics. So I'm hoping he's back sooner. But
I'm excited to see who emerges as the top Belgian.
Yeah, I kind of want to see the drama between Wout van Aert and Remco Evenepoel. I just wanted to say the names.
Terrible.
I just wanted to say the names.
Your accents are so crappy.
Yeah, let's hear yours. I don't see you coming with any.
That's why I don't do it.
A little bit of feuding between those two after the World Championships. So old Remco, the young punk, coming up, trying to be the top dog.
Saying I'm coming after you?
He essentially said they shouldn't have ridden for Wout. They should have ridden for him at the World Championships, and he would have won. Skips the post-ride meeting. So there's some drama. There's some tension there. I want to see if Wout's going to come with a big hammer on Remco.
Not a baby hammer.
Not a baby hammer. He's coming with a big one. Alaphilippe. So second year in a row where he's going to be wearing that rainbow world champ jersey. He mentioned the pressure of wearing it and how daunting it was. And you've heard other people talk about it before. He wins it again. So I'm curious to see, is he going to go back to winning all kinds of events, or is the weight of the rainbow jersey?
Yeah, there just hasn't been too many people that have gone back to back.
Yep.
But yeah, we'll see.
And then more locally here, Johnny B.
That's what I
love our local folks.
Yeah, I'm
semi-local.
Super excited about watching the domestic pro cycling season unfold. Mm-hmm. Just with what's going on in criterium racing right now, and then also, like you said, having a ton of kind of local cyclists who we kind of grew up either knowing or racing against or whatever.
Both, yeah.
Racing in the domestic pro world. A couple of them on the same team now. Mm-hmm. Nathan, Johnny's brother, Nate Brown, and Stephen Bassett.
Yep.
On the same team at the rally. So that's exciting to kind of see the two Tennessee kids race together there.
And Tanner Ward, I'm counting him. He's one of the nicest, most quiet, humble dudes. Super strong guy. Yeah. But he got picked up by a pretty big domestic team this year. He was racing with First Internet Bank. Won a bunch of races last year. Won the last gravel Belgium waffle ride in Kansas. Really excited to see what he does. And Seth Ryder.
Man, I'm
So if you're listening to this podcast for the first time and are unfamiliar with any of these names, Jonathan Brown, Stephen Bassett, Tanner Ward, Nathan Brown, Seth Ryder. These are kind of
they're all regional,
our local folks. Put them on your radar.
Yeah.
Put them on your radar this year.
I mean, I know I probably sound like a fanboy, but
you are.
Just seeing him and knowing him from, basically a preteen and seeing him rise through the ranks and just do the work and not be the one, whoring himself out on social media and stuff like that. I mean, he's literally just doing the work, getting stronger, learning, adapting, adjusting, and he's reaping the benefits now. And, it was made very clear during the Super League season this last year. And I'm excited for Super League to come back. Even the arena games with Super Leagues is pretty fun to watch. And
yeah, if you're someone who's not into triathlon, watch those.
Yeah.
I mean, that's short, compact, exciting, a lot happening, super exciting stuff to watch.
Yeah, there's some things in the like twists and turns and stuff like that in the races that can change. You know, the race can change at an instant, that sort of thing. So, yeah, I'm super excited about Super League. Collins Cup.
You're super excited about Super League?
I'm super excited about Super League. Collins Cup. It was pretty cool to watch last year. I'm sure they'll improve it this year. It's cool that they can like match up. They have the choices kind of who matches up in the heats. So there's basically like three racers go off together, and it's all country based or region based and stuff like that. And so I'm interested to see excited to see who gets into Collins Cup this year for one, but I would love to see.
Is this kind of like the Ryder Cup in golf?
Yes, absolutely. Mm-hmm. It's the same idea, and so I would love to see Daniela Reef, Taylor Knibb, and Lucy Charles go head to head in their heat, and then if you could get Gustav Iden, Christian Blumenfeld, and Jan Frodeno in one heat, that would be epic.
It'd be more epic if you'd have used an accent as you went through those.
I haven't nailed down the Norwegian accent yet. I'm working on it.
Let us know if you want more accents or fewer in the comments.
I'm excited to see what happens with basically 2 Ironman World Championships this year, because one, you've got people like Blumenfeld who's been dominant and shown that he can do any distance and crush it.
Yeah.
But you've got 2 different courses at 2 different times of the year. I think St. George favors the Norwegians. So that's, but Kona, if Kona comes back next year, the heat and humidity and the conditions there are just something else that you have to prepare for, which, word's still out on if the people who live in the mountains, in this train in the snow and ice half the year, can really handle those type of conditions.
Yeah.
We've seen, obviously, Frodeno can do it, and several of the other top pros are capable of standing on that top step, but maybe don't have the overall fitness that Blumenfeld and Eden do. So we'll see. I mean,
that's why they play the game.
They still,
now.
Those guys still have a lot of room to grow in the Ironman distance to begin with. So, I'm just excited to see what happens in both those races this year. And it's just in the pro ranks in general. Like, you've got a lot of people that have shown in the last couple of years that they can be really, really good and possibly dominate in years to come. A lot of young people. You got Sam Long, who
going along with Sam Long.
It's gotten so popular in the last few, couple of years because he's on social media like all the time, and he's very outspoken, and nobody loves Sam Long more than Sam Long.
That's true.
So the question is, will he make another leap this year in his fitness? I mean, it kind of seems like he was burnt out a little bit after this last season because he just raced a ton and he trained a ton. He was constantly being accused of overtraining all the time. And, just from some of his social media stuff after the season was over, he was just seemed like he was
cooked,
done.
Yeah.
And it's like Lionel Sanders. What's going on with Lionel?
That's a good question.
The question is Lionel plateauing, or is everyone else just really making big gains? He's getting a little older. But he's still, he's got this idea now that he just needs to put in more training hours. But we'll see. I'm excited to see what happens.
Time will tell.
And then you've got these other folks they're putting in the work. One of my favorites is Rudy Von Berg. He's come up pretty quick. He's made some big gains this last year. Showed himself in several races. He's just seems like
a true underdog story, really, Rudy.
he's just kind of, if he can put a few more pieces together, he's right there on the top step. And then just watching what happens with the Norwegians, and I'm curious at who's going to emerge in the women's category. Will Lucy keep dominating? She proved herself this year to be able to do pretty much any distance. And then you've got people like, Jackie Herring and Ellie Salthouse and all these ladies who are just crushing it. Mm-hmm. We just need to get them all in one race, and just see what happens. It's just, we haven't had an opportunity because of the World Championships not happening to see all these ladies and men in a race together. And then the thing that excites me more than anything is that you've got all these people coming through ITU and they're getting super freaking fast. Mm-hmm. And then when they transition to long course, they're immediate contenders.
Yeah.
So who knows who could be the next kind of dark horse in long course racing when somebody just decides to make that leap from ITU racing. So,
do you have a pick?
I don't know. I mean, it just depends on
horse.
What's that?
I said that's why it's the dark horse, right?
Yeah, you have no idea who.
Yeah.
You would figure it's the people that are kind of nearing the end of their ITU career, but who knows? There's been a few people, like Jason West, who won 70.3 Memphis. He's an ITU guy. You really didn't hear about him very much, and then when he comes to race 70.3 distance, and he's crushing it.
Yeah,
because the dude runs a freaking 108 off the bike.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's crazy.
It's insane. So I'm excited to just see all these guys and gals develop.
Yeah,
in the next year. So I mean, I know we went on and on here, but there's just a lot of things to be excited about. Mm-hmm.
I've got one last one, which kind of segues into the last thing we wanted to talk about, which was that giveaway.
Yeah.
The Cyclocross Worlds. U.S. has one of the top cyclocross racers in the world in the women's category, Clara Honsinger.
Yep.
I'm really excited to see how she does. She tends to do well in a kind of a muddy, hard, big power style course. So if needed, we might have to sabotage the course with some water, some mud. I
mean, if things happen like they did in Louisville, I mean,
we're polar plunging.
Prime time.
Yeah.
Like that year it snowed.
Yep.
It was muddy. It was nasty. But it was so much fun.
Yep.
So much fun sitting on the sidelines.
Yep.
Watching people suffer.
I'm super excited to be there to see that. I'm hoping Matthew Vanderpool hears that Wout's not coming and he says, okay, I can win with a bad back. And he shows up.
That'd be nice.
Even if it might delay the rest of his season. Be the best man that never was. But let's go ahead and get into this giveaway.
Yeah, so we have partnered.
We have
with this awesome company.
It's been 2 years in the works.
Yeah,
chatting with these guys.
Yeah,
bunch of punks to deal with. But,
we've partnered with this company called Adventure Rig Rentals, mm-hmm. and so we're partnering with them to give away 2 tickets. 2 3-day passes to the Cyclocross World Championships in Fayetteville, Arkansas, January 28th through 30th, plus a pull-behind trailer that will contain a nice cozy mattress, heat,
cozy,
and or air conditioning, because you never know what the weather is going to be like.
Never know.
So you have lodging and tickets for the whole weekend, and we're going to give those away via social media. So you just basically watch out for the posts. We're going to be posting on both accounts. Should we mention that we also own Adventure Rig Rentals? Is this an ethical dilemma right now?
I don't know.
Scruggs. Ethical? No? All right. So, full disclosure here. We own both companies. Yeah. But we are going to be posting on both accounts. It's going to be kind of a like share type of thing, and we'll be picking out people at random drawing for the tickets and the trailer rental trailer. So watch out for those posts because they're coming ASAP. And we hope to give those away before, probably not the next episode, we'll kind of announce it, but the next one we'll talk about who's going to get them tickets. It's going to be fun. It's going to be awesome.
And we'll be there to give you high fives. Or if you have any, we can even deliver. We can even hand deliver the tickets to you at the event because we'll be there with you.
Yeah. All right. That's all we got.
That's all we got.
2022 started.
Yeah. Be sure to like, subscribe. Let us know if you have questions. If you have topics, we want to answer it. So
Coach or couch.
Coach
at buildpeakcompete.com.
And if you haven't picked up your baby hammers, make sure you come and grab those.
Thanks, everyone, for hanging out, listening, watching. We will catch you guys next time. Adios.
Peace.